Hello, I'm Robin Gibson, and this is the Harvard House Money Morsel. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us again. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click the bell so you get a notification of when we're releasing a new video. I'm sitting today with Michael Porter. Hello, Michael.
Yeah, morning, Robin.
Michael, nice to see the rand nice and strong this morning. Now, obviously, we've kind of weakened ahead of our cut, but this kind of is signaling that maybe America is going to cut rates, which is very confusing for us normal guys who are worried about inflation with tariffs. So, can you help us?
Yeah, that's confusing for all of us, Robin. But really, the big event last week, Robin, on Friday evening was the Jackson Hole Symposium. So this is a symposium where lots of central bankers get together. It's held in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Okay.
I've never been there, but I presume it's a nice town. Otherwise, they wouldn't go there. But it's quite a big event on the central bank calendar. And Jerome Powell basically hinted in his speech, which is quite a closely watched speech. Anything he says is closely watched at the moment. That it might be time for a policy change, was what he was saying. Obviously employment softening and inflation not really picking up. I think also, Robin, so obviously Trump has been calling for lower rates for a long time, and he's getting more and more vociferous about it. I think one of the other Federal Reserve governors is in the firing line at the moment and is about to get fired. So really I think there's an enormous amount of pressure on the Fed to cut rates. Obviously, Europe's cut rates aggressively. The UK is somewhere in between, but the Fed is under enormous pressure to cut rates, and they might just start cutting at a time when inflation is pushing up a little bit because of the delayed impact of the tariffs coming through. So we'll have to wait and see. But basically, for all intents and purposes, markets are discounting a rate cut in September from the Fed.
Yes.
And if they don't cut, there's going to be carnage.
No.
But I think it's essentially now a foregone conclusion,
Yes.
unless something dramatic happens in the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
And so the dollar's weakened a bit, the rand strengthened a bit, which is obviously great for us.
Yeah. Are we seeing anything from an inflation point of view in terms of the tariffs? I mean,
Robin, it's a little bit early to say. I think, the tariffs have come in over a period, and I think there has been a huge amount of forward buying because it has been quite well telegraphed. And because of the delays, there has been opportunity for people to build stocks ahead. So it's quite hard to discern, again, what's been real demand, what hasn't been, and where prices are sort of settling. I think if you look at Walmart's results or Amazon, or some of the big retailers, some of the jewelry and things like that as well, there's definitely tariff pressure or inflationary pressure building, or people are putting up their prices.
yes.
But it's yet to feed through to a bigger, a sort of more sustained basket. But I think it's just a matter of time, quite honestly, But it always just depends how transitory that is, whether it's permanent or whether it's just this sort of little blip and then it settles down again. Yeah.
Market certainly isn't showing any concern about it, is it?
Well, no, again, and I think it's been quite well telegraphed. So I think the market's largely taken in its stride. I think we've had this conversation before about it being a little bit complacent,
Yeah, so we'll see how
Yeah.
it goes. Bringing it locally, Michael, I see good news over sort of the last end of last week. Sanral, Transnet have now privatized a number of lines, which I think Grindrod was one of the winners there. Can you give us some detail on that?
Just reading all the press over the weekend, Robin, it seems that they've identified 11 or 12 operators that are meet all the criteria. I don't think they've privatized the lines yet per se. I think now there's further rounds of negotiations, and it seems to me, just from my initial understanding, that we're not going to see private trains on railways before possibly the middle to the end of next year.
Okay.
So there's still a process to go, but I think is what we've been saying, Robin, is that we're on this journey.
Yes.
Barbara Creasy, who's the transport minister, was saying, that there's two good times to invest in railways and ports. The first good time was 20 years ago.
Yes.
The second good time is now, So we are way behind where we should be in terms of what other countries have done. But again, I think we're just moving on this path, Robin. And yet Grindrod has been selected as one of the sort of preferred, one of the companies that will roll out things. And there's obviously the different corridors and different bidders have been selected. I think there's still I get the impression there's still a lot of work to be done, but again, we're moving forward all the time. Yeah, which is great.
And Michael, I was doing some prep for a presentation I was doing the other day, and when you look at the heat map of South Africa's exports by value, we're still really a commodity exporter. Railways is so key to that, isn't it?
Absolutely, Robin. You just look at how many trucks are on the roads. Obviously it's nice for us, there's a lot of work going on the N3, which is not nice day to day, but it'll be nice when it's done. So yes, obviously it's nice to see the roads improving, but the volume of stuff we're moving by truck is just ridiculous. Railways are far more efficient for iron ore, for coal, for manganese, all those, and even containers. Containers shouldn't really be on the roads either. So it's a long time. It's a long time coming, but we need to get those mining exports up, Robin. There's no doubt about it. We are still a mining country at heart.
Yes. Yeah. And obviously the prices of precious metals helping us out, giving us a tailwind, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, Robin. And there's just lots going on. It's nice to see some positivity coming through on the Transnet side and government sort of feeding through. I think Operation Vul and Leil has been a long time coming, and I think we talk about it often, Robin, and we can see some of the reforms starting, but by the time it manifests in the public sphere, it's a couple of years down the line, but at least that journey is underway. A similar journey that's underway at the moment is the inexorable slip of the ANC in the polls.
Yes, I see on the weekend, the DA released a poll on the weekend, and they had risen above 40% in Gauteng, and ANC below 30%, and we've got local government elections coming, and I see also that there's been two members of Malusi Gigaba and Chunu have both been sanctioned, and they're facing some reprimand for bringing the ANC into disrepute. So there's proper fighting going on in the background there.
Robin. I think there is, and I think for me, what also stands out is in Derby Road, I think he was actually held up at gunpoint a couple of weeks ago, if I remember that. Just read that correctly. But I think we incorrectly assume sometimes that the electorate is relatively unsophisticated, and I think we make that mistake at our peril. Yes. And I think more and more commentators are basically saying that the electorate is linking BE with jobs and economic growth and poverty and falling GDP per capita and everything like that. And so the ANC is stuck in this this mindset that this is the only, they're on this path and there's no veering from it. But the electorate don't want it. I think we've seen that with NHI and a lot of different things, and yet they just can't. It appears to me that they can't sort of see it. So the electorate are really starting to vote with their feet and saying, this is why we're going nowhere.
100%. I know. I was listening to Frans Cronje, and he was saying there's a severe lack of awareness, self-awareness among the ANC. Anyway, that's all we have time for, Michael. Thank you for the chat. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.